Now, the next one is my favorite because it's the easiest. So let's do an example. Let's say in exam you forget, okay? Zero indices means the power is 0. So guys, I want you all to put into the calculator 2 to the power of 0. What do you guys get? 2 to the power of 0. I don't see anyone putting it into the calculator. Yes. I don't see anyone doing it. Not everybody is doing it. Next, give me a random like 2-digit number. Okay, 20 to the power of 0. Also 1. So what do you notice about anything to the power of 0? It's always 1. Now, power with 0, only the person with the power of 0. So right now, guys, you need to be very, very careful. Everybody take out your pink pen. Now, if you look at here, the 0 belongs to who? This 0 belongs to who? 8. So it means that this whole thing will become 1. So I know that 8 to the power of 0 gives me 1. Okay? So right now, let's go to B. B, same thing. You need to understand. This 0 belongs to who? This 0 belongs to who? No. This 0 belongs to who? It doesn't belong to 5 and 6. This 0 belongs to who? Yes, negative 5 over 6. It means, so I know that this whole thing will give me. So that I know that this whole thing will give me. Huh? So this whole thing will give me 1. Yes. So next, let's move on to C. So C, the same thing. This is 0 right here, right? So this 0, okay, who does it belong to? 2x cubed. So I know that this whole thing will give me how much? This whole thing will give me how much? 1, yes. Now let's move on to D. So D, the 0 belongs to who? No, wrong. If you tell me that 0 belongs to 5x, that is a big fat cross. 0 belongs to who? The 0. Yes, belongs to x. Hence, from here, I know that 5x to the power of 0, 5x to the power of 0, this x to the power of 0 gives me how much? Some of you guys are not paying attention. So what is the answer for D? How do you get 5? Because it's 5 times 1. Yes, so that will give me 5. So a lot of students always say, oh, 1, 1, 1, anything about 0, 1. Then they make a mistake. So D is a mistake made by a lot of students. Okay? So now let's move on to E. Now E, what do you notice? What do you notice about E? What do you notice about E? Very good. The bases are the same. So what are the bases? 3, 3, 3. They are the same base. Now, what else do you notice besides the 3 having the same base? We never ever talk about different powers. We always talk about same base, same power. We don't talk about different power. So what else do you notice? And number 1, you notice the same base. What is number 2 that you notice? Very important. We went through that already. Good. Excellent. You know that it's a plus sign. So what did I tell you that when it's a plus sign? Yes, can't use law of indices. Very good. So can't use the law of indices. So this is when everybody take your red and put a giant star, because this is the kind of question that will be out in your exam. Okay, it's very tricky. So the only way to do it, there's only one way to do it. Only one way. Start with F. What is it? Who knows? What can F represent? So there's only one way you can do. What does F represent in math? Which word? So we can only factorize common term. Common term, or for this case, we always use the lowest power. So it's something that you learn in HCF and LCM. So if you look at 3 to the power 0, 3 to the power 1, and 3 to the power 2, what is the lowest power? Huh? What's the lowest power? Guys, what's the lowest power? 0. So what do we take out? Do we just take out 0 like that? Is it correct? Do we factorize out 0 like this? So who do we factorize out? Nope. We don't just factorize out 3. You guys told me that 0 is the lowest power. The base is not 1. So who do we factorize out? Very good. 3 to the power of 0. So when I take out a 3 to the power of 0, when I factorize a 3 to the power of 0 from a 3 to the power of 0, what do I get? 1. Yes. Followed by, what's next? So I write 2, is it? 2, like that. So after 1, what do I write? Plus. Plus what? 3? What? 3 to the power what? 1. Then followed by plus 3 to the power 2. Yes. Then right now, do you realize that here you can actually just solve that? So what's inside? So what is the value of 3 to the power 0 that we just learned? 3 to the power 0 is 1. And what's in the bracket? 13. So therefore, what's my answer? What is 13? 13. So right now, I did have another example. I want you all to write type, another type. So let's say instead of 3 to the power 0, I have 3 to the power 2 plus 3 to the power 3 plus 3 to the power 5. So applying the same logic, what do I do? If I apply the same logic that I taught you guys on the left-hand side, what do you do? What's the very first step? Very good. Factorize out the lowest power. So what do we factorize out? So I factorize out 3 squared. Then what do I write? Open bracket. 1 plus 3 to the power 3. No. Not right. 3 to the power 1. Yes. Yes. Plus 3 to the power 3. Then after that, close bracket. And what is 3 to the power 2? 9. Then what's in the bracket? 31. And therefore, what's the answer? 279. The end. Okay. So that is how you do E. Okay, I have not enough space, so I'll just do the next one. All right, my F and G here. Okay, so I have F and G. Now, F, can you tell me what's the difference between E and F? E and F looks quite similar, but what is the difference between E and F? Yes, this one you can apply the law. How come you know you can apply the law? So it's a multiply, so I can Apply the law. Okay, so what do I have now? What law can I apply? Which law? What's the lingo? Which law? The what? Everything is law of indices. Look at all the keywords that I use. So which law? Which law can we apply for F?
M plus N.
That is the technique. That is not the law. So what is the law? Yes, same base. So these are keywords you need to know. Same base law. So same base. So apply the same base law. So what is the base, guys? 5. So wherever it's the same base means we can touch the power, right? So Braden, tell us what to write for the power. 5. No, I need a technique. What do we do with the power? So what is the working I need to write? 5 like that. Please refer to your notes. There's a technique that we taught. I need the working. What? 0 plus 1 plus 2. Yes, Alyssa, continue. So what do I write from here? 5. Yes, 5 to the power of 3. The end. That's it. All right, let's do G. 6x to the power of 5 times 6x to the power of -5. So guys, what do you notice? I think you need to revise. Because wherever you want to solve, what did I tell you guys? What is the train of thoughts that you need to have? What is the train of thought you need to have whenever you want to solve or whenever you want to simplify? Sorry? Look at the base. What about the base? You need to ask yourself what? What do you need to ask yourself? Train of thought. Is it the same base? So let's look at it. Is it the same base, people? Very good. So it's same base. So what do we do from here? So we can do the power already. But when you do the power, you need to do one more check. What is the final check you need to have? What's the final check you need to have? Such that you know you can apply the law. Yes, a multiplication. Why? Because if this is not a multiplication, it's a what sign? You mean divide cannot? Are you sure? What sign that you cannot apply the law? Yes, only plus and minus. You cannot apply the law. So you must always check. Okay, doesn't mean all the time you can apply the law. So right now, I know that I can apply the law. So what do I write? Right now, I know that I can apply the law. So what do I write? Yes, open bracket. 6x. Close bracket. Yeah, what's the working?
5 minus 5.
5 minus 5. Yes, then now I can say that 6x to the power 0. And what do I do, guys? I need to, wherever I do this, I need to check, right? What do I need to check? The 0 belongs to? This 0 belongs to the whole 6x. So therefore, I know that my final answer will be 1. The end. All right, once you're done, let's move on to the last 3 types. The next one will be type 6. Type 6, type 7, and type 8 will be the toughest type ever, especially type 6 and type 7. Okay, especially type 6 and type 7. Type 6 is the most difficult one. A lot of students struggle to do type 6. So now, these are the spoken rule that you need to know about indices is that by default, usually we will live in a positive index. Understand? Okay? So what does that mean? So it means that, for example, can you see number 1? This student, right? Can you see that my power has a negative? I cannot leave my answer as like that. If I leave my answer as like this, your teacher will minus 1 mark. Understand? So these are the little things that you need to be very sensitive about. So hence, I will teach you a technique. Can you see a fraction? I want to make it positive. Listen, guys, listen. So not many teachers teaches this technique. So I'll teach you the technique that I learned, or I found out. Okay? So in order to get rid of the negative is by moving the position. So right now, the negative belongs to the numerator or denominator. So once it's at the denominator, if I move it to the numerator, it will naturally become positive. You understand? So for example, let's say I have this, right? So how do I move it? It means that right now, I move it, it will go on top. So when it goes on top, the y will still be negative 2. It will be 2. Then what happens when I move the y, the minus 2? Because this whole thing I move up already, right? So what happens to the bottom? Yes, must always put a 1. And anything divided by 1 is just this. Do you understand this technique now? Okay, I give you guys some time to copy. Once you're done, put down your pen and then move on to type 2. Okay, one student is ready. 2, 3. Waiting for one last. All right. Okay, so now let's move on. So can you see right now the negative? The negative 2, the y has a negative 2 in number 2, right? So hence, how do I make it into positive? So this x3 will just still stay at x to the power of 3, and then it will be y squared. When I bring it down, what happens to my top? So now, can I say that at the end of the day, my answer is this? Yes or no? No. This is a mistake made by a lot of students. Let me ask you, let's go back to primary school. Can you say 1/2 is equal to 2? No, that is the same logic. Do you all understand now? Copy all this. Super important. So question number 2 is a kind of mistake that a lot of students make. Too many students make this mistake already, including your seniors. I've seen too much of these mistakes in exams. So please do not make these mistakes. Oh yes, now I remember. There's one more mistake a lot of students make. Okay. All right, so now let's move on. Let's move on to number 3. So number 3, can you see it doesn't appear as a fraction already, guys? So always go back to primary school again. Let's say I give you a 2. How do you write 2 as a fraction? It's as 2/1, correct? So same thing. When this person, can you see this person is not a fraction? How do I make it into a fraction? The whole thing over 1. So do you realize that now my is quite easier? So what happens? If you apply the same strategy I've been teaching you for 1 and 2, you'll be able to do for 3 also. So I want Alyssa to tell us what is the answer for 3 if you apply the technique I teach you for number 1 and number 2. There you go. Very good. The answer is just 1/x squared. The end. Okay? So that is for number 3. So right now, Hong Yun, do number 4. Uh-huh. Yes, very good. There you go. You guys got it. Okay, right now, for number 5 and 6, let's take out a different color pen. So let's take out green. So 5 and 6 is a mistake made by a lot of your seniors also. Super important. So please do not make these mistakes made by your seniors. Now, guys, let me ask you. Listen, very important. So when I'm teaching, I don't want anyone to write because you need to focus. Your mind cannot listen and write at the same time. So now let me ask you, can you see there's a -2 right here? This -2 belongs to who? Does it belong to 3? Listen, So Braden says that the -2 belongs to x, correct? So I must see it's 2 separate terms. So as a 3, so can you see this 3 right now? How do you write 3 as a fraction? So what I will always do is I'll apply the same technique as what I learned in number 3. I take the whole thing, I put over 1. Do you understand? Don't write anything yet. Listen, very important. So right now, let me ask you, the negative. Does the 3 has a negative power? No. So will the 3 goes to the numerator or denominator? Will it still stay at the numerator or do I move the 3 to the denominator? So stay as a numerator, so 3. Then the x squared will move, right? So right now I have 3 over x squared. Do you all get it now? Understand? So copy it. So right now, let's move on to number 6. So don't forget to use a blue pen and write over 1. And don't forget to circle the -2 and put an arrow that the -2 only belongs to x. It does not belong to 3. Okay, so right now let's move on to number 6. So number 6, can you see that the 1/3 is already a fraction? Unfortunately, the x to the power of -2 is not a fraction. So how do I put it as a fraction? So use a blue pen and write this as over 1. So right now, how do I put this whole thing as a fraction? So who's on top and who's below? Who's on top and who's below? What do I write on the numerator? No, you cannot write fraction over a fraction. So you tell me it's 1/3 over something? Wrong already. We cannot write a fraction over a fraction. So who do I write as the numerator? That is also a fraction, not allowed. 1, yes. Is that all? No. 1 multiplied by 1? No. We're not doing any indices at all. It's just looking at this whole thing and tell me who do I put on top and who do I put at the bottom. Very good. X to the power of -2. Then who do I put at the denominator? 3. Then now, can I start applying my technique? So, what do I apply if I use my technique? At the end of the day, what do I get? 1 over 3x squared. So number 6 is the one that a lot of students cannot get it right. And this is how they lose their 3 marks in exam. So indices usually is worth 3 marks. Maybe in your test, it's going to worth more, but in O levels, indices is worth about 3 marks. So these are easy 3 marks you can get, okay? Just be really careful. Okay, so right now, let's go back to here. So I need you all to understand that if I do not want to write as a fraction, means I just want to write out in a something to the power of something format, right? For number 1, what do you think I can write it as? Means basically I don't want to write as a fraction. I want it to express as an x to the power of n format. So anybody can tell me, if I want to express as x to the power n format, how do I write it? Who's my x? Who's my n? I want to rewrite this. So go and look at how we have been doing, everything we have been doing, and tell me, how do I write it as a x to the power of n format? Here. Hongyi, what did she say? Yes, x to the power negative 3. Excellent. Can you tell us, Alyssa, this was inspired by which one? That you got the inspiration from? So she said she got the inspiration from number 4. So yes, that is the technique. Very good. Okay? Now, the next one, very important, guys. I'll teach you this technique. Guys, look here. Super important. Super important. Not many school teachers teach. Okay? So next time, whenever you see something like that, right? Can you see? The negative is very annoying. So I can get rid of the negative by this technique called flip. Means where do you flip? Only flip the one inside the bracket. I repeat again. Flip only inside. So when I flip inside, what do I get now? Do not write, anybody. Listen. That's more important than writing. Huh? Yeah, so I put a bracket still, y over x, and close bracket. Then after that, 3. Yes. Now you can. Super important. So this technique, not many school teacher teach. If your school teacher teach, you know that this teacher, not too bad, quite good. Okay? So your school teacher teach you this flipping method, you know, okay, this teacher not bad, quite good. Okay, so right now, the last one you need to take note also. Guys, can you see this person here? Super annoying. Negative, right? Right? But this is -1. So, how to do it? Okay, so this is somewhat similar to when you have x to the power of -1. How do you write x to the power of -1? What do you get at the end of the day? Very good, 1 over x. So can you see this x, guys? Look here, look here. Can you see this base is x, which is similar to here? So apply the same technique. What would my answer be? Yes, x squared. X squared y cubed, wrong. Not x squared y cubed. -3. Because it's literally copy paste the base. Do you understand? But of course, this is incomplete. You know why is it incomplete? Very good. Because of the negative power is incomplete. Okay? But that one is I already done it with y'all. I want y'all to understand the most important part is the 1 over x technique. Okay, now with all this technique, I want to see whether are you guys able to apply. So I want you guys all to do A, B, just do everything that you can see from A to M, okay? So do that now, and then let me mark. So right now, question A, all the way until question J, I want you guys to do on your own. I'm gonna help you with K, L, and M. Okay, so let's do K right now. So let's copy out the question first. So K, same thing. Can you see that I have x squared y minus 1 over z to the power of -3 multiplied by x minus 3 y squared over z minus 2. Now, guys, who is very annoying? So who must I deal with first? Here, so what's the technique that I teach you guys to deal with this person? So I flip it. So I flip it. So that means that the -3 will it still stay as -3? It will become negative become 1. No. -3 will become what now? -3? No, -3 still won't be -3. 3, yes. So negative 3 will now be 3. Then what happens in the bracket? Will it change or stay the same? So it will be Z. So it's just basically flip. Now, can you see that this sign is a what? Multiply. So I can just do the normal multiplication like how I usually do for algebra. Do you all understand? So how many unknowns I have, guys? So what's the first unknown that I have? X. Any more? Y. Any more? Z. Now, guys. Oh, I didn't highlight this Y. For me, I won't highlight as like this first. Do you all know why? I won't start simplifying yet. Do you all know why? How come I won't start simplifying yet? No. I won't start simplifying yet because it's still undone. Why is it still undone? Huh? Yes. The 3 I need to rainbow in now. So I'm going to circle a different color. So the 3 arrows to who? Rainbow to who? Z. Is that all? Huh? What? Yeah, who? Arrow to who? X squared first. Then after that, followed by y negative 1. Yes. Then from there, what do I have? I notice like some of you guys are not listening and like doing other questions. Then later you guys get stuck and not able to understand. No, when I teach, you don't write. When I teach, you listen. Then after that, you write. Otherwise, you'll not be able to understand. Okay, so right now from here, what do I have now? Z cubed over x to the power 6. Y negative 3. Now the rest I can just copy paste, right? Now guys, remember just now I told you whenever you have a negative power, what do you do? Anybody still remember? What do I do when I see a negative power? Huh? Yes, but for me, I won't do that. Listen up. Because just now I told you that when it's negative power, we'll do that, right? That is only implied for the final answer. Do you understand now? I'm going to teach you this method. So I hope you listen. So this is a very powerful method. So now can you see I have Z? I will see where are my Z's. So far so good. So what does that mean? It means that I straight away write it as like this. Z. Now this is times or divide. No, then that's where you got wrong already. Because why? How do you read this as Z cubed over Z minus 2. It's not Z squared. It's Z to the power of minus 2. So what does it mean? Is it times or is it divide? Divide. So divide means what law can I apply? Someone not listening, huh? Yeah. So when it's a divide, what law can I apply? Which law? Same base. Very good. Same base law. So how do I read as this, the one in blue? I read it as Z cube divide. Very good. By to the power of negative 2. And what law do I apply? Same base. So if it's the same base means what do I do? Do you still remember? Touch the power. So what do I get now? Z to the power of 5. Do you understand now? So next, I'm going to look on for another one. So who do I have now? So can you see I have this? I always like to look from top to the bottom, okay? And this, right now. So for this orange one, what can I say? What would that be? X negative 3 divided by x to the power of 6. So what does that give me? At the end of the day, I'll have x. No. Huh? To a power of 9, also no. -3? No. -9? Yes. So can you explain to us, how do you get -9?
-3 plus minus.
What plus minus? No. We don't have this sign called plus minus. Guys, look at your notes. I don't teach plus minus. If you look at the notes carefully, I don't teach plus minus. I don't say that. I take the 3 and I plus minus. I don't do that. I don't put two signs together. Never. Why -3 minus 6? Which law did I apply? Which law did I apply? I apply the same base. And same base, remember there are two types. It's either a multiply or divide. But for this case, is it multiply or divide? It's divide. So when it's divide, what do I do? Yes, when it's divide, we minus the power. So it's -3 minus 6. And that's how I get -9. Do you all understand? Now the next one is y. Okay, so at the end of the day, you give me y. So we apply the same technique. What do we have? So what is the answer here? What do I write now? No. Wrong. Not -1. -5, also wrong. If you do not know, do the side working like how I teach you guys. If you're unsure, don't do mental sum. Do the side working as how I taught you guys. And tell me at the end of the day, what do I write? Y to the power of? No, not -1.
To the power of 5.
To the power of 5, very good. Can you explain to everybody how do you get to the power of 5?
Y to the power of 2 divided by y to the power of -3. Then you apply same base law.
Very good. Apply same base law.
2 minus
2 minus
-3.
Yes, 2 minus -3. That's it. So these are all the laws. You need to be very careful. The more you get one tiny number wrong, the end, that's it. So right now, is it complete, guys? Is the answer complete? Is this your final answer? Yes or no? Why no? Very good, because what's the unspoken rule? Need to be positive. So how do I write this? Anybody know? Move it below, yes. So what do I have now? So z to the power of 5, y to the power of 5 over x to the power of 9. And this is how you do. So usually in exam, rarely will you see question 1 all the way until H because it's considered too easy. So the very typical exam questions, it will be K, L, and M. These are your typical exam questions. Whatever I have been doing with you guys are all just drills to get you guys familiar with indices. Hey guys, can you tell me what am I supposed to do when I see this? Anybody know what I'm supposed to do? I won't do that. You notice I never ever do that. I only do it to my final answer. No. I also don't split it. So if you're not sure, refer to K again. Look at question K. Look at all the workings I've been doing and see what have I done? What's the train of thoughts? There's nothing to flip.
Expand.
Very good. What do you mean by expand? So which power? Very good. -3. What do I do with this -3? No, means you now look at K. Look at K. What do I do with this -3? Look at K. What did I do? No. Multiply into to square. So what is the technique that I teach in class? It's called the rainbow technique. So rainbow to who? Rainbow to who? Which number? Yes, 2. Rainbow to 2. Now, any more? Any more? What do I do? If you apply the same technique. So you apply the same technique, what do you do? Circle who? Circle 4. Yes, rainbow to X, rainbow to Y. Any more? So what do I do? Circle 2, very good. -1 and Y. Okay. So I want Alyssa to do the first one. What do I write on top now? Yeah. -6. Yes. Choose the next person. Huh? The name? Cass. Okay, Cassandra, what's the next one? Yes, very good. Choose the next person. Chauncey. Y to power 4. Choose the next person. Hong Yun.
Wow.
Very good. Choose the next person. Brayden. Yes, Y squared. Okay, that's it. So right now, if I want to apply the same technique, guys, I let you all copy first. Then the next technique I'll teach you guys. Can you see these are all the X and the X? So highlight in one color. After that, change color, highlight the Y and the Y. Then once you're ready, you can hold your orange pen. We'll start. Now let's start with the one in orange. Now, can you see that now, just now, whatever we have been doing, we got only 1 at the numerator and 1 at the denominator, correct? But now, can you see there are 2 orange in the numerator? So what do I do with my power? So what would that be? This will be X. What? No need calculator. No need calculator at all. It's all about the working. So we'll take, yes, -6 plus 4. Why -6 plus 4, people? What law are we using? Yes, same base. And which one? So the same base means which one do we do? What do we do? We touch the power. So you only tell me same base means I touch the power. And what do I do with the touching the power? So the power, what do I do with the power? Plus, minus, times, divide. I will plus, right? Now, can you see this one? This is at the denominator. So denominator means what? What do I do? Apply the same technique as just now. Divide, so what do I do? What do I do with the power? So I have -6 plus 4, then after that, I have, apply the same thing, guys. Now, that's not the side working that I do for question K. Apply the same thing. What? No, not -2. You're close, but it's not. Minus -2. Very good. So this is how you do it. You understand? Next, let's do the one in green. So that means that I have y, and what do I have? 4. No, wrong technique. No, wrong technique, wrong technique. Not 4 plus 2. Wrong technique, huh? Very good. Why -2? Why not +2? Huh? Because this is at the numerator, this is at the denominator, and what is this sign between them? Divide. Divide means you plus or minus? Minus, exactly. So right now, let's continue simplifying. So what does that give me? X to the power of? X to the power of what? And y to the power of what? Yes, x to the power of 0 and y to the power of 2. And what do we learn about x to the power of 0? X to the power of 0 is not x equal to power of 1. X to the power of 0 is not the same as x to the power of 1. So x to the power of 0 give me the answer of 1, yes. And then after that, followed by a y squared. So at the end of the day, my answer will be y squared at the end. Guys, have you all annotated this one already? Can I erase at least this one first so I can copy my question M? Who has not copied this one yet? If you copied, raise up your hand. So waiting for you. You have not done this one yet. Have you copied and have you annotated? Then you have to raise up your hand. Okay, so I can erase this. Once you're done, put down your pen so I can move on because time is running short. Okay, have you all copied? You're all done. Raise up your hand if you're ready. I only have 2 hands. Waiting for last 2 students. If you're ready, raise up your hand. Waiting for last 2 students. Waiting for one last student. Waiting for one last student. Waiting for one last student. She's Cass, who have not raised up her hand. Let's see. Okay, let's go. So right now, this one, right? Same thing. What's the technique? By now, you all should know already. What do I do? Expand. So what do I do? Yes, circle the -1. Very good. And what do I do with the circle the -1? What technique? Rainbow to who? X squared and y. Any more? Circle 2 at where? And what do I do? Rainbow into x cubed. Very good. And 3. If you don't do that, 0 marks. Out of 3 marks, the moment you get this first step, 0 already. Okay? So it's very brutal. You need to be very clear in every single step. Is that all? Any more? Okay, so tell me, what do I write now? Very fast. Quick. Let's go, everybody. 15x squared y minus 5 over. Wrong, not 6. Someone else? Huh? 9. How do you get 9? Yes, 3 to the power 2 is 9. Followed by x 6. Yep. Divided by yes. X 2, no. -2, yes. Choose someone else. There's no such thing called you. Hongyun, okay, yes.
5 to the power negative
Y to the power negative 5, very good.
4,
Over?
4y.
Yes. Now, go back to primary school. What did your teacher teach you all? Whenever you see a divide, what technique can you all use? Keep, change, flip. So I copy this person, I keep this person. Then after that, I change the divide into time. And then I flip. Okay, copy all this now. Go. Then after that, same thing. Use your highlighter. Highlight all the X together. All the X that you see. Then after that, all the Y that you see. Once you're done, put down your pen. Then I know that I can move on. Now, there's this technique that I want you all to learn and be very, very careful. So right now, can you see here, guys? Look here. How do you read this as? So what I'm doing is I'm doing the coefficient first. Do you understand? Followed by, because there's nothing here, means it's just 4/1. So for this, it's very simple. Just put in your calculator. And what's the answer that you guys get? What's the answer that you guys get? So what does that mean? It means that over here, I know that on top I write 20, below I write 3. Do you understand? Go, color code. Actually, I don't want to write like that. I write like this better. Easier. Will not confuse you guys. Okay, guys, so let's go. What do I have now from here? What I have now from here? No, how do I continue doing? What do I write? X what? Very good. 2. Very good. 2 minus 6. Wrong. Because what happened here? Plus. Yes, it's plus -2. Because this times this. They're at the same place, same denominator. Then next, let's do Y. So, Brayden, you already tried the orange one. Choose someone else to do the blue one. Alyssa, you're chosen. Y. -5, yes. +2. Very good. Excellent. Okay, so right now, guys, we have 20/3, same thing. This one is written in the middle. I repeat again, it's written in the middle. So Alyssa, choose someone to go and do the X and the Y. Huh, what? Chauncey, so it's the one in orange. -6. Okay, and then -2. So after that, yeah. So how do I rewrite this? Choose someone else. Cass. So how do I write it as? Who do I write on top first? Who do I write on top at the numerator? 20. Any more? Any more? So she said x to the power 6 I write as the numerator. Is that correct, guys? Yes or no? No, why? How come? What did I teach you guys? What's the technique? What did I teach you guys? This, and this is all in the notes for type 6. What did I tell you guys before? What did I do with this person? What did I do with this person? Yes, over 1. And what did I do with this person? Over 1. Then now how do I apply the technique? So is there any more at the numerator, guys? Yes or no? No? Okay. So what will the denominator be? Still cast again. 3, yeah. X to the power 6, yes. Y squared, yes. That's it. Okay, guys. There's a slight error here. So for here, right, this is a little bit tricky because can you see that this one is together? So this one is together. What? Usually, I think the better way is to make them together first. If this one you combine, what does it give you, guys? X to the power of? So combine them, what does it give you? Yes, x to the power of 4. Right? So right now, it means that if I'm going to do the top and this one, what does it give me at the end of the day? What does it give me? How do I get that? Because I take 2 minus 4. Yes. So at the end of the day, here is minus 2. And here is 2. Okay? So I think you guys do this way is a lot easier. So you'll not be too confused. Else later you forget a bracket and everything is wrong. Okay, so that's all for today. For number 7 and 8, we'll do next lesson. So your homework, everybody take out your homework book. Your homework is, the rest of you guys, number 1 is to clear your inequality corrections. Except Braden and Hong Yun. So number 1 is your inequality corrections. Number 2, it will be to do type 6 of these notes, A to J. A to J, this one here. Guys, can you see that? A to J. Okay? Write it down already? Now, there's one more that you all need to do. The third one, number 3. Write it down, number 3. Indices worksheet. This one is sent to the group chat. So write that down. Indices worksheet, which is under the group chat. So which one is the worksheet? The worksheet I'll send to the group chat later. If I forget, please remind me, okay, guys? Breda, are you in the group chat? Okay, good. Everybody's in the group chat, right? The same group chat. Hong Yun also? Okay. So, can you see this amazing deliciousness? Yeah. So do not wait until the last minute to do, okay? Trust me, it looks very intimidating, but it's actually not. So the questions that I want you guys to do, question 1 and 2 you'll not be able to do yet. So the homework that I want you guys to do will be question 3. Write it down. Question 3. I'll send you guys this one later today, okay? Because I got next class already. So question 3, question 4. That's it. Question 3 and 4. All right. It shouldn't take you guys more than 1 hour to do. All right, that's all for today. Bye-bye.